So immediately you can smell a rodent issue. You can see in the insulation here a lot of feces. So one thing I don't like about how pest control companies they just throw these packs of poison under the house. We don't know how long they've been there, and this insulation has clearly had a lot of activity in it with rodents. They love the insulation, so they just get up in it, and even the insulation that appears to be up and intact, if you pull it down, then you will probably have some activity in there, because they're just nesting in it until it naturally falls down from the weight and the impact of them being up inside of it. There's a dead one. It does get a little bit more active here. So they've been getting the pods off of the trees outside, and bringing them under here to munch on. Looks like pretty consistently. At least we know what they like to eat, and that is where they are getting in. These vents are very easy for them to chew through, so they will just come right on in through that vent, and if you seal that one up, they'll just chew through another one, so on and so forth. Good night. So they've been using these glue boards that have not really worked. I mean, this honestly is a lot of activity. And you know, with rodents, you just don't know how far into their breeding cycle, how many of them are in here. You could pull out 10, you could pull out 20, but you know, as you're seeing, this is they've been in here a while, unfortunately. So you can go down the road of just replacing what is damaged, which is a pretty good amount. But then of course, if you don't address the stuff that you can't see, if you start pulling down bats of insulation that look fine, but I mean, we'll do it on this one. This one looks fine. But yeah, so I mean, this one's fine. But then you look at all these, and they're not. So you could go down the road of just piecing in what's damaged, which is pretty significant. But then when you put the insulation back, if you let the rodents get back in here, they're just going to use it as bedding again. The alternative to getting rid of all this insulation and replacing it would be to use a wallboard insulation that goes on the actual block wall of the foundation. So if you come here, all these cobwebs, if you come here with it, it would go from about here to here. It's an R11 value, goes all the way around. If you do get rats back in, they don't it's not like good material for them to use for nesting. Plus, it does allow for better inspections for things like termites and leaks, that kind of thing. And if the house needed a dehumidifier, you'd have to seal it off anyway. So what we could do is attach a wire mesh to the back of these vents and secure the insulation on the back of that, so you wouldn't really see the wire, but the rodents wouldn't be able to get into the crawl space. And I can also address the rat issue from outside the house. I'd rather do it from outside the house anyway, than putting bait under the home. They have to eat bait multiple times. It's got poison. If you have pets, then nothing bad should happen to your animals if they eat a poisoned rat, but who knows? I mean, there is fungus, this kind of fungus in the wood, very common. It is an indication that the moisture levels get to be about 20%, which is conducive for wood destroying organisms. It's not destructive to the wood. It does make the rest of the house less efficient. And of course, in regards to things like termites, they don't have to leave wood that has that much moisture in it. They can just stay there. As far as the moisture issue goes and addressing it, it's really not that bad. It should probably be addressed, but you do not need to fully encapsulate this crawl space. You could do it in stages. It would be up to you how you wanted to address it. If you wanted to knock it all out at once, I would probably get rid of all this insulation, so we know we're getting rid of the rats that might be nesting in it currently. You'll pull it down and they'll fall out of them and they'll run and they'll scatter. Then going back in with the foam board on the walls and using ramset drivers, securing it into the walls. Put you a nice vapor barrier, nothing too thick, nothing crazy on the ground, and a dehumidifier, and sealing those vents for rodents, and you should never have to worry about anything in this crawl space again. I also have a disinfecting product that I can spray in here, and it'll kill any bacteria or fungus or anything like that is left in rodent urine or feces, fungus in the wood, things like that. It would take care of all of that as well. But other than that, what we have here is a crawl space that's been a little neglected, and it is not beyond repair. There's a rat right now. Hey fella. That was huge. So he was under here. Another one. And you can see the fungus building up, yeah, in the wood. Sorry. You see this pipe, the staining on it. That is grease from rats running over and over and over on this pipe. I don't know where he went. Oh well. Not bad though. Not bad. Not terrible.